The voiceover and the VO Sot, also known as voice Sot or voice over sound on tape. The voiceover or VO. A VO is any story that the anchor reads that also incorporates video, a full screen graphic, or some other visual. Voiceover. We hear the anchor voice over a visual. VOG, voice over a graphic. The voiceover continuing. Now, VO stories help producers vary the pace of the newscast while delivering useful and interesting information in the short form. They usually work well when covering events, and a comment from someone at the event would add much more to the story. For example, a street fair. Voiceovers also work when you quickly need to assemble information for a breaking news story. It works when the producer has a packed full newscast and doesn't have time to devote to a VOSOT or a package. The mechanics of a VO. The VO information can come from story notes from a reporter or photographer, news releases, wire services, video feed services, etc. Writing from video. What we see in the video should be seen in the script. It should be matching in the script. Talking about the mayor, show the mayor. A child jumping up and down, say something about enthusiasm. Continuing with the mechanics of a VO, the video and script should always match thematically. The visuals should support the writing, then how the story is written will logically drive how the visuals are edited. Let's take a look at an example of a VO. For example, on camera, the anchor is reading, "This summer's wildfire season is hurting Arizona's economy." Then the anchor keeps reading, "During the past few weeks, forest fires have consumed thousands of acres and burned dozens of homes in south and central Arizona." And as you can see, it says VO in the instructions. The video is covering the anchor as they continue to read the story. Here are some VO tips for producers. When you're using file, try to refer to the video. Here's Johnny at a concert in Flint last month. If you're doing a story about obesity, don't show identifiable people in public who are overweight for your video. Be careful of shooting video of someone that could be identifiable, for example, a tattoo, a bracelet, or clothing, etc. In that vein, a story about juvenile delinquents, and you take video of the only teen at the skate park who happens to have a Manson t-shirt and a barbed wire bracelet. That student could be an A student, so you could be lumping him in as a juvenile delinquent when he's not. And some more tips. For example, crime stories. Be careful who you show. For example, you're doing a story about crack use on the rise and you show a suspect being busted several months back, but he was found innocent. You can't show that video. For business news, be careful what businesses you show. For example, banks in financial trouble, but the one that you shot downtown is in perfectly good financial shape. Graphics. It's important when you don't have video to match. Make sure the elements match the script from top to bottom. Over the shoulder graphic of anchor. It's usually a topic that the anchor is talking about. Other graphics. Bullet points, 2 or 3 words of text from the statement or point in the copy. Quotes are good for support in a story of someone who doesn't want to be on camera. Charts and graphs, excellent to show numbers in relation to each other. Nat sound. VO with natural sound is very effective, especially when the anchor pauses. For example, a story about the symphony. VO with no natural sound is a flat VO, or silent. Let's talk about VOSOTs now. It begins with the VO, then leads to the sound on tape, or soundbite. Also known as VOB, which could indicate more than one byte, would be VOBB. The role of the VOSOT, it lets the producers vary the pace of the newscast by giving more time to a story than a VO, but less than a package. They're useful when covering an event with a package. VOs and VOSOTs give it more depth. Scripting a VOSOT. Verbally identify the speaker before the SOT. Give their name and title. Set up the bite by giving the viewer an idea of what the person is going to say. Don't write into the SOT with the same few words at the beginning of the sound bite. It's redundant. And finally, let's show you what a VOSOT would look like if you're scripting it for a newscast. You start off with "Rip the anchor on camera," saying the Flint Mayor, Dane Walling, is a lead politician tonight. The anchor keeps reading, but the VO then pops up. After an all-night bargaining session, the mayor and police union representatives reached a new deal. The mayor says the agreement involves concessions from both sides. Then you go to the soundbite. That's the sound on tape. And the IQ is the last several words. But in actuality, you have to write out the entire soundbite. This is just a short example because you have to make sure that you have everything written out for the hearing impaired. And then you come out of the soundbite with on camera of the anchor or more video of the anchor reading the end of the script.